Okay, thank you for the opportunity. So, the first thing that we have to do in here to solve this problem, that we should manage the event itself from the inside of PUSU itself. Well, we can manage the event or the other event. So after we can manage very well inside of the PUSU. So we can create communication between all Messi presidents because we stand here not only PUSU but also PSC, PUMA, clubs and committees and so on and so forth. So after we can create communication between all of them, we can create cooperation between all of them, especially to conduct this event. Especially, so when we can cooperate, absolutely the event itself will be run more effectively and efficiently.
Okay, because we are in some events, so we think that the key of the event itself, like the PM, VPM, treasurer, like secretary, that's the board of directors. So we're planning to make the board of directors is from the PUSU itself, like the treasurer and the secretary. So there will be no chaos if we are preparing for the proposal or the accountability report, because one of the key that our events always like laid off the money that given by management always get stuck because sometimes because the accountability report is pending by another events. So we think that we should have the board of directors from the PUSU itself.
That is all. Thank you from the excellent cabinet. Now I'd like to welcome from the first candidate to answer the question. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you for the question. So, what will PUSU do for the quartz and busy timeline? So, we will focus to external event first, because external event is an activity that describe of PUSU that focus to student activity. So, president university student will know that PUSU first is serve all the patient, resident university student, and then after we focus to the external event, then we do and focus to internal event. Internal event can follow after now the guideline from the external event. So internal event can know when the time that external event cannot do maximum, then internal event can apply and conduct in the time. Because our focus, first is patient of resident university student.
And we are focused to manage timeline the event, internal and external, because we have also communication, because communication is important for each event. And if there are changes for the external or internal or any events, the PM or committee have to tell to the others committee even, so that the event not too tight, not too chaos, and like chaos. Thank you.
That is all? All right, thank you, candidate, for your answer. Now we will have a response session from the second candidate. Cabinet Excellent, your time is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity. So basically, we can assume from your response to that question that you are going to prioritize the external event. Is that correct? So basically, in internal event of PUSU is well. In internal is how come if we prioritize the external event? The internal event is basically consists of we are going to make strong foundation in PUSU itself. So if you prioritize the external event, which means that you are not really going to prioritize the internal event, which means that there will be possibility where there is lacking of foundation, strong foundation. So when the internal PUSU itself, they do not have strong foundation. How come you can manage the external event itself?
Okay, our second question is, what do you mean by the guideline from external events to the internal events. Thank you.
And please elaborate it with your real action and example. Thank you.
That is all from the second candidate. All right, thank you. Now we would like to welcome the first candidate to answer the questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the response. So, I will ask you first. If is President University student will ask you about our internal event first or our external event first? What they want and what they know is the external event first. So why PUSU didn't conduct an external event first? Why not conduct? Why Sopu not in this month, or why Mr. Emis and so on? Is President University student ask you about when the time for PUSU PUSU and PUSU will gather or farewell? It can follow after they know and they satisfied about our focus to is a place for the patient, for President University student first, and for internal event. I don't say that it's not important for us. It's important to make more bonding. But in this case, we will serve first President University patient and make sure President University student satisfied about our works, our timeline, so they will know and they will get view that PUSU will work for their patient.
About the timeline for internal and external event, we make the timeline because we prioritize in external event. It doesn't mean internal event doesn't important. The external event quite a big event, so we must make sure the timeline for the external event, and we make the form with
Candidate,
the.
your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you, candidates, for your response and answers. Now will be the panelist session in which they will
serve what President University students need in order to conduct academic as well as non-academic events, which is part of the responsibilities of PUSU. I would like to ask, particularly to both candidates here, if one of your biggest events that made the name of your university bigger than ever before, the budgeting is not as big as previous year, or it might be the budgeting that have big amount of money will not be given until the end of the event. And of course, it is part of the biggest challenges for the committees. You cannot run the event without money, right? And how you as president and vice president as a leader come up with such kind of situations and how to manage this chaos. Thank you.
Okay, now we will give the first chance to answer from the second candidate from the Cabinet Excellent. Your time is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity. So basically, how we manage the problem itself. So the main point in here is we are not alone in here. We have PUSU itself have their own members, PSC, PUMA, clubs and committees, and also the students itself, and also the regular organization where we can create cooperation between all of them. So especially in concern about our budget itself, where we are going to work hard in here as a team, where we can collect the fund, collect the budget in order to conduct our event.
And also, we will not have the really big outcome if we already know that our budget is low. We mean that, for example, if we have the guest star, we'll not have the biggest guest star. I mean, like the huge guest star that will spend us a lot of budget. And also, we also have a president store, e-commerce, and we do believe that for this year we'll have more target for the target of sales for president store, because we are not only going to sell this product for Press Universe, but also for the outside of Press Universe. Thank you.
All right, thank you from the second candidate. Now I would like to welcome the first candidate to answer the question from the panelists. You have 2 minutes, the time is yours.
So thank you for the question. So what will our cabinet do for that case is first is give the information first and accompany all the PUSU members to know about the current situation, about especially for budget. As you know, budget is sensitive for us and it will be a challenge just for us, and we will talk to the project manager. It's not to make high expectation and also give the information to make low budget and standard budget so they can use one of the based on their budget. And also we try to find sponsorship at least to give and help from the place or goods to support our event, that make more easier to project manager conduct an event.
We have to conduct a discussion, the president or vice president to the committee of the event. In the event, the important thing is the process. While the process can bring the impact for the event, so they have to make plan A and plan B. So they also don't have the high expectation about the event. They have to know about the condition and the budget of that event. So we can combine it and make it like small event, but big impact for the others. Thank you.
Thank you, the first candidates. Before we continue, the moderator would like to ask for clarification from the first candidate. The candidate have mentioned previously on the internal and external events. By internal, does the candidate mean internal within PUSU or within the President University?
The internal event is for PUSU members.
For within PUSU members,
Yes.
and not internal events of the campus?
Not, we mean that external event is like SOPU, like traditionalized, and internal event is for PUSU members or with PSC members.
Okay, all right. Thank you for the clarification. Okay, for both candidates have been questions in regards towards event management in President University and how they are tackling problems with more events and programs despite of the tight timeline. The Evolution Cabinet have mentioned that they will focus more on external events outside of PUSU, in which they will focus more on communications to hold those events so that there will be no chaotic environment. Whereas the Excellent Cabinet has mentioned that they will manage from inside PUSU firsthand, and then internal communication should be managed well, and they will also have a key meetings with the PM, Vice PM, and then they would have to have, they would like to have the project manager and vice project manager from the board of directors in order to ensure that the accountability report is not being slowed down. Both candidates have also asked each other on questions in which both the first candidate have asked in regards the second candidate have asked in regards why the external is the focus instead of the internal, and the first candidate have explained on the need to have focus more on external, then we can proceed towards internal as a guideline. Within the questions from the panelists in regards towards budgeting problems, both candidates have mentioned on lower expectation but bigger impacts in particular, and the first candidate have mentioned on the need to find sponsorship to help the project manager as well. The second candidate have mentioned as well on the President Store e-store that might help the funding of these events. Okay, so that will conclude the second session of this debate. Before we continue towards the third session, may we have a round of applause for the candidates for the answers?